Hello, everyone. This is Old School from WhatTheBuck.net, giving you the Giants preview this week. Obviously, it's not a whole lot of chest pounding down here in Buckland. We're getting our asses handed to us. We're 0-2 coming into this game at home at Raymond James. The Giants come down here. The last time they were here, they broomed us from the playoffs 24-14. After a good first quarter, the Giants staff made some nice adjustments, dared our linebackers to actually make tackles in the open field, and we were incapable of doing so. This week, the Giants come in after handily defeating the Redskins as well as the Cowboys, sitting in the catbird seat, 2-0 atop their division, looking very solid. Running game not quite untracked the way you'd expect for the Giants, but their passing game looks tremendous. Eli Manning looks tremendous. Mario Manningham is stepping up, and all in all, they seem to be firing on most cylinders here. Now, the hope from a Bucs fan perspective is, we're sitting here at 0-2. Most people have us in the bottom probably 5 to 7 teams in the league. Our offense has put up a lot of numbers, but that doesn't really mean a lot because we're not putting up a whole lot of points. So it doesn't matter. We got, I think, the 5th ranked overall offense in the league, but it doesn't mean anything because we're sitting there at 0-2. So it's a moot point. The defensive side of the ball, which has historically been our strong suit, has just been crap. We're giving up big plays. Last game we missed 24 tackles. You cannot do that going against a Brandon Jacobs or an Ahmad Bradshaw. You start missing tackles and expecting your secondary guys to bring down that horse. It is not going to happen. It's going to be a long day. So the Bucs are going to have to get back to basics. Down here in Tampa, that's been the real push. Coaching staff's been pushing it. The players themselves have been sort of exalting each other to do that same thing. Kind of focus on the basics when it comes to your discipline around your reads and then your discipline around how you actually execute your tackles. It's really about getting back to what you have to do just to be competitive. When we came into this year, we said if we can do 2 things, we can be competitive in every game. If we can run the ball and if we can play defense. Now, game 1 against the Cowboys, we ran the ball quite well. Game 2, the Bills crept 8 and 9 guys in the box. We lose our starting center, and all of a sudden we can't run the ball anymore. Then we go down 17 points, and we sure as hell can't run the ball anymore. We cannot get into that kind of a game against the Giants. We're going to have to make sure that Mahan at center filling in for Fain is going to be able to make those line reads. We can stuff any of those A-gap blitzes that are coming from the Giants. The Giants have a tremendous defense, right? Even with the injuries, with Kenny Phillips going out, the injuries list is huge. I mean, I got the printout over here. I've never seen an injuries list this long for both teams, right? So there's a lot of wounded soldiers out there, but the Giants are deep, and they're still putting out a good product. Now, they didn't get any sacks against the Cowboys. Byron Leftwich is not nearly as mobile as Tony Romo, but so far he's been able to get the ball out and not get sacked a lot. He ends up on his backside a lot, which is dangerous. That offensive line is going to have to be able to protect him, open up some holes, and if the Giants want to do what the Bills did, which is to creep another man or 2 in the box to stop our running game, they may think that they don't need to do that, and hopefully they're wrong, and we can actually gash them a little bit and force them into some adjustments on defense. If they creep those guys in, we've got to be willing to take some shots, whether it be to the quick slant or to a sluggo to get behind that corner. Whatever it is, Byron Leftwich is going to have to make that read, make that adjustment, and take the shot to get them to get back into a normal defense so that we can run our offensive scheme. When you look at the keys to the game this week, I got a couple of keys to the game. We got to get back to basics, like I said. We got to eliminate our turnovers, which we had last week. Right now, the Giants come in here at a +4 turnover margin. 2 of those from Phillips. We're at a net 0. That's not going to get the job done, folks. We've got to make sure that we're able to get the turnovers that we need. We had 112 yards in penalties last week against the Bills. 4 face mask penalties, 2 in the same freaking drive. That is just totally unacceptable. We've got to make sure that we eliminate that. That is a discipline issue. The coaching staff has to fix that. And last but not least, the basics around tackling, blocking, and execution. I would love to say that we want to try and build some sort of a game plan, an esoteric scheme to go against the Giants. But to be honest, if we don't do those core things on our side of the ball, irrespective of what the Giants bring into Tampa, it's not even going to be a contest. So when you look at what the Bucs are going to try and do against the Giants, I think defensively you're not going to see a whole lot of twists. You're going to see us playing a lot more core cover 2, even though Bates' system is not predicated on that. I think especially with Will Allen coming in for Jermaine Phillips, who has what has been described as a mangled thumb, and he has gone to the IR, our secondary ranks are depleted. Corner is depleted and safety is depleted. Until Tanar Jackson comes back, we're in a whole world of hurt. Injuries are going to absolutely destroy us back there. So I do expect to see the Giants try and take their shots. Because of that, I think we're going to play a little bit less aggressively in the defensive backfield, more base cover 2s like we talked about it before, quarters coverage. On the defensive line is on the spotlight right now. They did nothing last week. They've got to get pressure. Whether Coach Bates dials up some linebacker blitzes or not, I'm not sure, but we've got to get to the quarterback and cause the quarterback to make some mistakes that we can capitalize on so we can get some of those turnovers. Because without it, the offense is going to be playing a shootout all day long. On the offensive side of the ball, D. Ward going against his old buddies there. He says he's going to run it up on him. He is the starter this week. Caddy's got a sore knee, not related to the surgery, mind you, related to running on turf up there in Buffalo. So he should be dressed. He should be suited. He should play. All of our guys should be on the running back core. But D. Ward's getting the start, and we may ride that horse if he gets on a roll, which is sort of the approach we take on our running back by committee approach. Wide receiver looks a little bit ugly. AB is a game-time decision. He's considered questionable at this point. Maurice Stovall had his annual injury. His knee is jacked up. He probably will not play, which means you'll see a lot more Sammy Stroder coming into the wide receiver position. But from a receiving perspective, I see Kellen Winslow and Jeremy Stevens once again being the primary targets for Byron Leftwich. I believe the Giants have only given up 2 passing touchdowns this year, both to tight ends. And Kellen Winslow looked tremendous against Buffalo. I don't see any reason why he wouldn't continue to look tremendous. If there's a weak spot, I would see that being it. Establish your run, go to the play action, look for the seams to the tight ends, and that would really be the approach that I take. Now, I always pick the Bucs to win. I know that sounds homer, but I'm saying if we do everything that we can do properly, this is what we can do, and I do believe that any team can beat any other team on a given Sunday. I think our MVPs on the offensive side will be Kellen Winslow. I think the MVP on the defensive side will be Geno Hayes. He's playing great ball. No one knows who the hell he is right now, but you will soon. This guy is running to the ball and doing some great things on the defense side of the ball. In a defense that really isn't doing much great, especially when you look at the fact that they're ranked 31st in the league. I do see us winning this 27-24. I still don't think our defense can stop people from scoring, especially not an offense like the Giants, but I'm hoping that the heat combined with some approaches to get back to basics will allow the Buccaneers to take this. So that's the preview this week. Hopefully I won't be looking like a complete tool again when we come back on the review and are talking about a 35-21 score with the Giants winning. So thanks for tuning in. Please make sure you rate this and let us know what you think.